What is going on, guys? My name is Vaxillion and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be showing you some fundamentals for Tony Hawk that's been added from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 and later games in the series. This video has been requested by Tony Burhouse. He requested this for new players, including himself, because there's things in the later series that people have not played that they would want to learn because they're in this game and it would be helpful for them. And so here's a few things that have been added that I think that could help you a lot in the game. I want to start on a few things that are small but that can really help you. And here's the thing, I don't know if it's called quick turn, but I'm calling it a quick turn, where if you double tap down and then press RB, or if you're using a PS3 controller, R1, then you rotate 180 really quickly and you just go the opposite direction. It's really useful for things like, I don't know, for like speed runs it can be useful. And it's not only useful for speed runs, but it can be used for tech, like prov, and I think it's really cool, and yeah, it's really useful. Now this next thing was never like told in like a tutorial of how to do it, or that it was in the game, but it's a drop down, and the way what it does is you just drop down from the grind, and the way you do it is by pressing the triggers. Pressing the right trigger drops you off to the right side of the rail. Pressing LT will bring you to the left side of the rail. This also works with ramps, as you see. If I press LT there, I go into the ramp, and you can press it again to do a revert. And if you go to the opposite side, then you land on top, or you can go to the right side on the ramp, and you can manual. And yeah, I think Andy THPS explained that way better than I did. That thing was in his recent tutorial, but I wanted to touch on it as well because it's really useful. Now the next thing that I want to show you guys is a wall plant. Now this was introduced in Tony Hawk's Underground and has been in Tony Hawk games ever since, and it's really easy and it's really useful. In this game, you just have to go to a wall and press X. As you can see from my 360 flip animation, I was not able to do a simple wall plant. Yeah, I was just not able to. It's really useful, especially for if you wanted to go the opposite way in a grind. And you can do it from a wall plant to a wall ride. And there's a lot that you can do with wall plants. And yet again, it's really useful, and I recommend using them in your combos. The next thing that I want to talk about are spine transfers. Now, spine transfers were introduced in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, and again, they've been in every Tony Hawk game ever since, and they are really useful. In my opinion, they could be maybe even more useful than wall plants. And the way you do spine transfers is you go up to a ramp that has a ramp right next to it on the other side, and you press RT, or you can press LT, and it's really useful. It's one of the things that I always do because it's just that useful. And the same thing goes with air outs. You can just air out of a ramp by trying to do the same thing as a spine transfer, but it doesn't have a ramp at the other side, so you can just end up in a manual, or it's really useful to end up in a grind if you wanted to do a trick and then you want to end up in a grind afterwards. It's really useful. Now the next thing that I want to talk about are acid drops. Yet again, it's another useful thing. I think everything on this list is really useful, and same goes with acid drops. What you have to do is, before you're at a vert ramp, a quarter pipe, half pipe, what you gotta do is press either trigger, and you do an acid drop. You just air into the ramp, and you can end up into a revert. You can grind it right after you do an acid drop, and it's really useful if you are trying to, instead of going like far out there, you just want to acid drop, you can do that. And it was added in Pro Skater 4. If not Pro Skater 4, it was Underground. I don't remember quite. I don't fully remember, but it was either one of those two. Now, this next thing was introduced in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, Flat Ground. So tricks that Rodney Mullen or any freestyle skater does are flat ground tricks. They do them on the ground, and there's quite a few. And it's, yet again, really useful, and it's something you could learn for adding more score to your combos, or just trying to look stylish. It's just really cool. So when you're in your manual, you will have the X button, Y button, and B button to press. If you're on PS3, that's square, triangle, and circle. And different combinations do different tricks, like XY, Casper, YX, truck stand, BX is a Primo stand, Primo slide, or in the later games it was called to rail. And there's also anti-Casper, which is XB. BY is 1 foot manual. If you do it again, you go to a 1 foot nose manual. YB, switch foot pogo. YY, pogo. And BB, handstand. And you can press you can double tap X to do a flip in the, or just like a different trick while in the manual. Like you can do it, I just fell there, but you can do it with anything. With a normal manual, if you do it, you go into a nose manual. Once you're in the nose manual and you do it again, you go to the opposite stance in a normal manual. And then you go to a fakie manual, and then you're back into your normal stance doing a normal manual. There's also pivots. In the other games, they had you could spin your tricks, but for now, I hope they add it later. But for now, there's just no spinning except for normal manuals where you can pivot. And I really hope they add some spins for your flat ground tricks. It's something that's really fun, and you can make your tricks look more stylish, combos look more stylish. And yeah, the next thing that I'd like to touch on is wallplants. If you know how to wall ride, then you most likely know that you can air out of a wall ride. It's called a Wallie, and it gives you air, a lot of air if you do it really quickly, especially out of a wall plant. And something to add to your Wallies is wallplants. By pressing up, I think it's just twice. Yeah, if you do it twice, I'm pretty sure it used to be once, but I might be wrong. But if you press it twice while in a Wallie, or if you press it twice while in a wall ride, then you are able to get more air than your Wallie. There's a Wallie, a really fast Wallie, and then here's wallplant. It's really useful. It gets you more air than your average Wallie. As you see there, I was getting really high. I was just touching the ceiling there, but yeah. If you want more air, this is really helpful. And yeah, these are just a few things that I've found really useful, and I think that new players should know about these if they want to know about the new things that have been added to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. For more advanced players, I know this is not a tutorial you will want to see since you already know this stuff, and myself, I wouldn't want to see another person make a tutorial on this, but I'm making this for the people that are new to the games or haven't played since the first 2 games, or maybe 3 games, because the main thing that was added to 3 was reverts. Something else that I really want to touch on right now, I think that's quite a few things that I can remember that actually are really useful and some fundamentals that you should know. And yeah, if you want to subscribe, that would be cool. I just hit 200 subscribers, which is pretty cool because I was stuck at 190 for quite some time. Thank you for the people that have been subscribing to me and watching my videos. It really means a lot. I really love the support, and I hope to grow. If you want to find me elsewhere, I have Twitter, Instagram, and I've been streaming on Twitch recently. Sometimes I'm live, sometimes I'm not. And I'm just having fun with this game. That's all I'm having. That's basically all I've been doing recently, is just playing the game and making videos because people want to see them. You could also comment down some ideas for videos that I could maybe try or do, or maybe even tips for the game, since I know quite a bit of it. I'm not the most, like, I don't know everything. I'm definitely not the best player, but I do have fun with it. And yeah, that's basically it. My name is THPS1+2, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.